finally come to the conclusion that you just can't get your heavy construction done on your own, call JD Construction to get the job done right. JD Construction has the right equipment for the right job, big or small. Excavating, demolition, spring cleanup. Farmers, get all your ditch work or tree lines cleaned up before planting season. JD Construction also does concrete work and concrete removal. From small excavating jobs to big jobs needing a laser system or a dozer or a payloader with a grapple. And they have the trucks to haul material to or from the job site. JD Construction can do the job the right way. Contact them today by calling 701-740-4220. There's still some spring openings left or schedule work for fall too. JD Construction, getting the job done the right way. Call 701-740-4220. Everybody, welcome to Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. Drives the number 11 NLRA late model. He is a Hall of Famer, Troy Schill, in the studio today. It's going to be fun. We've got a lot of people to talk to. We're going to have some people calling in, lots of things to talk about, and it's all coming up, brought to you by the Walhalla Motorcycle Hill Climb. Join the action Saturday, June 27th in Walhalla, North Dakota, and Sunday, June 28th in Fordville, North Dakota, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. Experience the thrill of high horsepower motorcycles charging straight up the hill in bar-to-bar racing action. Expect full throttle sends, lightning fast times, spectacular crashes, and edge-of-your-seat competition as riders push themselves and their machines to the limit. Bring the whole family. Admission is just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Plus, concessions will be available throughout the day. Don't miss one of the most exciting motorsports events of the summer, the Moto Climb Super Series. For more information, call 218-791-3336. Follow Eagle Ridge Motorcycle Club and Brick Mine Moto Climb on social media for updates and event details. We'll see you at the Hill. We are back. Any questions or comments for myself, Troy, Dale, the producer, feel free to call or text. Our number is 701-213-0863. 701-213-0863. Stephen Lewis not here today. We're keeping good thoughts for his mom. She's having a procedure done today, so we'll get him back again. Jordan Barker, Kevin Pappenfuss, Corey Litton, you were first this morning. How about that? All right, let's get it out of the way. Let's do it. My daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. So I've been working on my weight, all right? Been trying to lose a little bit of weight. I know it's not easy to tell. And I have a goal, though. I finally figured this out. My goal is to be able to clip my toenails and breathe at the same time. Come on, Dale, the producer, always gives me that. That wasn't very funny. I could redo yesterday's. Let me see if I can find that one. See what you think of this one, Troy. I just heard Bilbo Baggins died from a Viagra overdose. Bilbo Baggins died from a Viagra overdose. Turns out old hobbits die hard. There we go. Was that better? Yeah, sure it was. Boy, I tell you what, Forks Karting news. There really wasn't much news to talk about. Having bad luck with Forks Karting this year, aren't we?
Oh my gosh, yes, unfortunately. Well, we started and we got about 4 minutes of hot laps in, and then Mother Nature sent and downpoured on us. And just want to give a big shout out. A bunch of people came in and helped me out, rushing a bunch of electronic equipment to keep it dry. Probably saved a lot of electronic equipment. So big thank you to everyone, and everyone just kind of coming together to stay dry and all that. Unfortunately, just a big reminder, next week, though, we are racing on Tuesday because of the fair schedule next week for go-kart. So Tuesday races next week. But yeah, otherwise, after that, find us racing all summer long. Wednesdays, just adjacent from River City Speedway on the Greater Grand Forks County Fairgrounds.
All right. Thank you, Dale. We'll be talking to you again in just a minute here because our track schedules are coming up here. Dirty Thursday track schedule brought to you by Forks Karting Association. You can watch the karts race Wednesday nights at Forks Karting Speedway, or next Tuesday. You can do that at the Grand Forks Fairgrounds. You can find out more by going to forkskartingassociation.com. Of course, Norman County West over in Ada tonight. It's their regular nightly classes, plus the Wissota A-Mods are there. It's a throwback night. Tomorrow night, River City Speedway, man, we're going to have a full house. It's a number 9 Wayne Anderson Cup night. NOSA Sprint Cars, Late Models, Midwest Mods, the Street Stocks, and the A-Mods. And we're going to have an exhibition put on by some Hornets. Not everybody's going to be racing. It's not just to bring your Hornet if you have. We're not going to be paying anything, all right? what we're going to do, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, what we're going to do with that. Weekly racing going on at Fix It Forward Speedway in Fargo tomorrow night. What do we got in Devil's Lake? Oh, the Walhalla Building Center, NLRA, 40 lap, Golden Hammer, $5,000 to win. Dale, that's going to be a hell of a night there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I kind of got the flyer up there on screen now because it's pretty much one of our marquee nights of the year at Devil's Lake Speedway. Get really good counts. I know we usually run a B main. I know Dustin Strand won last week, and then he won last year's Golden Hammer. So maybe bringing some momentum, see if he can be the first ever repeat winner. And yeah, it's going to be a regular class as well as a trophy class. So it'll be easily one of our biggest nights of the year. So if everyone's not up to anything Saturday night, come on out to the Devil's Playground, Devil's Lake Speedway this Saturday.
All right, and then the Father's Day NX Legends Legendary Tour going to be at Buffalo River Speedway on Sunday. Hobbies, Legends, Short Trackers, Race Savers, Sprints, and Sport Mods. And again, there you go. That is your track schedules for your local tracks. Brought to you by Forks Karting Association. Find out more by going to forkskartingassociation.com. We're expecting a phone call, but before that, I want to tell you about a show that's coming up on Monday. It's going to be a hard one, Justice for Lily and Katarina. You know, Rob and Nicole Luthane have been on the show before. They were unfortunate, horrible accident out at Airport Corner. They lost their daughter, all right, Katarina. Same thing for my niece and nephew. We're in a horrible accident down by the Minneapolis-St. Paul area last year, and this is Justice for Lily. Eric and Emmy Loicano will be in talking about the loss of their 11-year-old daughter by some idiot that ran a stop sign, a four-way stop sign at 65 miles an hour. And the things they're trying to get passed, new laws, things like that, in the upcoming sessions. So be watching for that. That's going to be coming up Monday. It's going to be a hard one. Let's see, the only hot laps around here is when the old man Jenkins.
For the big Golden Hammer Classic. Just a big thanks for everyone making for a big race night.
It's going to be fun. Man, I wish I could be down there this weekend.
Oh, yeah. We'll take you. We'll take you.
I know. I got another house full coming this weekend. They'll be here. Nonprofit. It's dedicated to combating isolation, promoting mental health awareness, breaking the stigmas. Told me about this. On Tuesday, they have shop nights. This is the heart of their program, all right? It's a weekly gathering where, say, 20 to 30 youths and adults come together as a family. They start with shared meal, usually taco in a bag, sloppy joes, hot dogs, or whatever. They eat together around the table to build real connections. Then it's hands-on work. Participants build, repair, and prepare with Soda Hornet race cars. Professionals teach real-world skills, like racing techniques, mechanical repair, welding, auto glass, wiring, painting, and more. Tell you what, you're not going to see these kids on their cell phones on a Tuesday night unless they're helping capture photos or create social media posts for them. It's a conscious choice that they've made to put down the screens, stay fully present, and build meaningful face-to-face connections in a safe, fun, judgment-free space where everyone feels like they matter. Now, race nights and events, weekends, they're for tailgating, practice, and racing their fleet of Soda Hornets at dirt tracks. You see them under the big lights. Their program emphasizes teamwork, sportsmanship, and support. You'll never see their drivers and crew out on a track helping raise awareness for mental health and suicide prevention wherever we race. You're always going to see them out there. Now, that's what they're going to be bringing their show to River City Speedway tomorrow night. Now, this is just an exhibition. It's not everybody bring your own Hornet, all right? This is going to be a few Hornets. They're going to race probably one race and a feature. There will be no payout for this race, but what River City Speedway wants to do is probably cut a check for Never Alone after the whole deal is done. Now, the broader impact on this is they empower participants through relationships, skill development, and hope. They maintain resources for mental health supports, including 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline and local crisis teams. Born in response to local tragedies, their work now reaches beyond their home base to build stronger, more resilient communities through Racing Connection. Now, if you want to get involved, they need volunteers. You can help with mechanics, cooking for shop nights, photography, videography, web design, even support, raffle sales, and more. Don't need any experience. There's a place for everybody. You can join them on a Tuesday shop night or cheer on their racers at the track. Youth interested in the program are always welcome. You can follow and share. Stay connected on Facebook and Instagram. It's at NeverAloneMN. Watch season recaps and highlights on the YouTube channel. There's ways to support and sponsorship opportunities. But here's what: Venmo at Never Alone MN. Check or mail, Never Alone Inc. P.O. Box 223, Fergus Falls, Minnesota 56538. Or email them, neveralone.mn@gmail.com. If you want to buy merchandise, they also host Thanksgiving dinners. They make gingerbread houses, carve pumpkins, visit corn mazes. They take these kids out and play bumper cars, drive go-karts, bumper boats, mini golf. They like to have fun. They even make tie-dye shirts. So Never Alone Incorporated, building relationships and creating a brighter future. And maybe she's not going to call. It's not looking like it. Anyway, so there you go. Be watching for the Hornets and find out more about Never Alone. And we will see them tomorrow night at River City Speedway. Now, the time that I've been waiting for. Now, watch. You know what's going to happen. She's going to call. Troy Schill is in the house. And I had a friend that worked there. So next thing you know, I'm there. I think I was working the turntable. And all of a sudden, there's this guy. And I start picking his brain and find out his name is Troy Schill. And I'm like, well, man, what do you do for fun? You know,
pretty much I'm self-employed. I build truck conversions, motorhomes. I've been racing for, I don't even know how many years now, 40 plus.
Now, you build like race haulers. Are they the haulers or just the motorhome or the toter? What do you call them?
I do both. I do trucks, trailers. I do the motorhomes. I do the all-in-ones where the car and the motorhome's all in one.
And how did you get started doing this? Because this is a very unique
stuff going on in the trucks now. They're just not like a hodgepodge deal. There's a lot of electronics. And
now, do you ever build just like a motorhome that people don't race, or is it mostly geared towards racing?
You know, I've built some motorhomes that people haven't used for racing.
Because this isn't something you can just kick out in a couple of days. I mean, wow.
Yeah, like a really super high-end conversion from start to finish. By the time we stretch the truck and build the box and do all the interiors and stuff, it'll take us a year to build from start to finish.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, when you say stretch a truck, you've got to have some pretty major equipment in your shop.
Yeah, like on the one thing that I don't do in my shop is I don't stretch the frames.
Okay.
I have a John Buckner usually stretches all my trucks.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and that's one thing I don't do. And then the electrical, I have a licensed electrician, Jamie Ditzler, comes over. And
sure,
does that
Jamie.
for me.
Oh, he does that too. I did not know that. How did you get your start racing? I know it's kind of in your blood.
Yeah, what it was is we were racing go-karts way back in the days, and my dad was racing go-karts too, and my dad had a really bad crash on a street race and got injured.
Oh.
And then we went on vacation, and we got a wild hair of, well, maybe we'll get rid of the go-karts and buy a race car.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that kind of evolved, and then we ended up buying a car from Roger Corbett back in the days.
Yeah? And that was your first, you went right into late model racing.
Right into late models.
Wow.
We were going to get a hobby car from Joel Chirac.
Oh, sure.
From
Yep.
Fargo there.
Yep.
And we were leaning on the two, and, you know, at the time, you know, we were thinking, oh, well, the late models, you know, obviously a faster, more expensive car.
Yeah.
So we leaned towards that, but, you know, back in the days, I wish I would have went with the hobby car first and got my feet wet a little bit.
Because you would have had a couple of years in a hobby car before they finally stopped running them.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I wish I kind of would have went that route, you know, at first, just for, you know, because when I went in the late model, I was way over my head.
Was it hard at first?
Yeah, my biggest problem I had with it is the car that I had, it had a big block in it, and it didn't have power steering.
Oh boy.
And, you know, I was probably 120 pounds.
Yeah,
Oh, man. And I literally, I couldn't even, I'd get to the corner and I didn't even know if I could get it turned.
Oh, gee.
It was ridiculous. And then, you know, eventually we got power steering in there, you know, but it wasn't a very good, not like the way they are now.
Yeah.
And it was tough to drive it, you know.
Do you recall coming out of your first race there, just like, oh man, I don't know if this was the right choice or.
Yeah, I mentioned a few times that, you know, about quitting quite a bit, you know, back then, you know, and we kind of toughed through it, and then finally in the 90s we got, you know, some pretty good equipment, and then we ran pretty hard then.
Just kept getting better, and it's like, all right, this is the way to go.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like, you know, when I started racing, it was really tough, and we didn't do very well. And then in the 90s and 2000s, we started running really good. And then now, you know, we don't race a lot, so I'm a little rusty, and I'm not quite up to speed like I probably should be. But we're just slowly getting there.
About how many races are you averaging a season now these last few years?
Last year, I think I think it was like 15 shows, 16 shows. And then this year, it'll probably be about 20.
Okay. Yeah. Gosh. No. Yeah. We got some fun photos for later that you mentioned. I can't wait to get your thoughts about them.
I don't know if Dana's going to be calling or not. She said she tried to call, but the number didn't work. Now, you took some time off. I mean, all of a sudden, it's like, where's Troy Schill? We never saw you anymore. You'd show up maybe once in a great while, but you took some time off. Is that correct?
Yeah, we were off for quite a while there for a little bit. I had a bunch of deaths in the family, and everything kind of got jumbled around, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and my mom, my sister, and my brother all passed away.
Oh man!
In kind of a short period of time there or whatever, and then I was getting backlogged in business and trying to keep that going, and then started kind of racing again, and then I ended up finding out I had a tumor in the back of my head that I had to do some medical stuff with, and I kind of took some time off to regroup again, and then I kind of slowly started racing, getting back into it again. And
when you were off, did you miss it? Was it just like eating away at you, or was it something that maybe you needed just for your overall good of you? You know what I mean? It's something less to have to worry about and think about when you've got all these other more important things going on.
Yeah, it was. It didn't really bother me to quit that time or whatever. It gave me time to focus on what I had going on.
Sure.
And then I knew maybe I'd get back and I'd start racing, some more. But I just couldn't keep focused enough to do that and race at the same time. I had to give, and
that's it. Yeah. Dan Wisco says the whole Schill family is synonymous with racing, and Troy does great work. Wish I had one of those rigs. Yeah, they are awfully nice. When you decided to get back going again now, were you still using the same car that you had before, or did you buy new stuff, or did it just sit there and every time you'd walk in, you'd kind of look at it and pat it on the back and kind of go, "Hey, good girl,"
Yeah, when I wasn't racing, I was kind of, maybe, once a year or twice a year I'd run or something like that. We had 3 different race cars in the time period, and we sold a couple of them, and then this last year I ended up taking in a car in on trade on a build.
Okay.
And then that's the one that I got right now. Yeah.
Do you have a preference in your chassis, or like this one, it just happened to be a good deal, so you jumped on it?
Yeah, I had really good luck with that Rocket that I had, and then I ended up with a Longhorn, and that car is really good too. Yeah.
So do you have one now, or you got 2 cars?
I got one car that I race, and then we got a few other cars, but I kind of collect old race cars.
Oh, okay.
I got an old mid-engine Charlie Swartz car that's got a lot of history to it.
No kidding.
And I got a car from Rick Eckert that he won the World 100 in 99.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something when I'm swearing.
Yeah.
But how many? What's your tally of race cars? Would you say for the collecting ones?
I just got 2 collector cars and then my 1 race car, and then I got 1 other old race car that I used to race back in.
Now, are these in a shop, or are they out in the woods, or where are they?
No. I got one car's up at the house garage, and 1 car's in the shop garage.
Okay. Yeah. So if I was to come out there one time, I'd make sure I'd let you know. But would you ever show me this collection, this stuff? Because I just love that old stuff.
Yeah. No. I have a lot of people stop out and look at it, and people are like, "I can't believe this car is in North Dakota." It's like,
wow, that is something. So now you are back. I know. How many races did you race last year? It was very minimal, wasn't it?
I think it was somewhere around 14, 15.
You did race that much last year.
Yeah.
Year before was quite a bit less.
Yeah, I think the year before was only a handful.
Okay, and do you plan on running full schedule then this year?
What we kind of got going on is I'm trying to stick to just running the NLRA Tour races, which some of them are Grand Forks and some of them are Devil's Lake. And they're kind of all over the place. But it's just me and my dad and Tyler helping on the car, and I'm still trying to make money and business and stuff. And
so if you're racing, say at River Cities, and it's not an NLRA race, are you still here regularly just because it's the home track?
Yeah, like I come out and watch even when I don't race here. I do come out and watch.
Okay. Does it bug you to watch? Because It's so funny. I've talked to so many guys over the years that when they retire, they don't want nothing to do with the racetrack because they're afraid it's going to suck them back in. Like me, when I quit playing softball, I had to stay away. I couldn't go watch. I couldn't go hang around with the people that I knew and that I'd been playing with forever. But does that bug you to go watch? Because obviously it doesn't.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I like going out because, then I'm not, worried about my race car and all that kind of stuff. I'm more relaxed.
You're up there thinking, I'm saving money.
Yeah, and I can go around and talk to people and not, just...
Do you ever find yourself winding up just kind of volunteering to help out other drivers in the pits on random nights you're not racing? Or?
I haven't really got into pitting for anybody. I just kind of go out and hang out and relax for the night. It's kind of like my night off, and I'm not
Right.
gonna, I just kind of do it, see what's all going on.
So a frequent question we've been kind of doing the last several weeks. It would be nice to get your insight when you're in fan mode, or just even on race nights too. What's your go-to racetrack concession?
I like the brisket.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with a brisket.
I like the brisket sandwich.
Especially the pits. Can you eat the whole thing? I have a hard time eating that whole thing.
Yeah, well, what I normally do is I usually just eat the brisket.
Yep,
I don't eat the buns.
My wife does. Or every boxer in the pits watches me because they know I'm going to have some left. And I'll usually go dump some off. But, I think, I believe that Dana is still going to call us. So we might have to take a little bit of a change of plans here a little bit. But, okay, it still won't go through, she's saying.
Or did she give you her number we can reach her at? I could call her off the phone here.
Okay.
And if I could just grab it.
Okay, hold on here. It's up there at the top.
All right. I will give it a patch.
All right, we're going to see what happens here. How'd you come up with the number 11?
I think when I started racing, I was normally number 12 when I played hockey and stuff, and then at the time Rick Auckland was 12. So so
You played hockey.
yeah,
I did not know that. We're going to have to talk more about that. Hello, are you there?
I am.
Oh, boy. Is this Dana? Am I saying your name right, Dana?
Danna.
Dana. Okay. Nobody tells me. It doesn't say that in a text.
No, it misses that part.
Okay. Now, am I going to, I know somebody with the same last name as you, and they pronounce it Gronwold. How do you pronounce yours?
Gronwold?
Gronwold. Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to talk about Never Alone. But the Gronwold name is synonymous with racing around the Fergus Falls area. I know that. How are you involved with racing, and how do I know that name?
My husband, Brock Gronwold, has been racing for many, many years, and so that's kind of how I got into it, is through him.
Okay. What we're doing, and I know you cannot see the pictures, so we're just going to be playing these pictures, but tell us about Never Alone, the whole 501c3, all of this, because this is a really, really incredible group that you've got going on, and a cool thing. But tell us about it for people that have never heard about it.
So we got started because of some local suicides here in the area, and we wanted a place that kids could come together and they could have just relationships, and they could interact face to face with people and maybe try to get off their cell phones a little bit. So we started it, and they come to our shop every Tuesday. We always eat together as a family, and then we start working on cars, and then they get to race them. So the first year that we did it, we only raced in Fergus, and then last year we started this Never Alone tour, and the kids had a blast with it. And some of these kids don't get to travel. Their families can't afford it, or they just it's just not in the cards for them. And so traveling has been a fun highlight. So we decided to do it again this year and try to get to new tracks that we didn't get to last year.
Now, you guys will be bringing some people here to River City Speedway tomorrow night. Is that correct?
Yes, we have 6 of our own cars, and then we have one teammate who raced for us last year, bought one of the cars, and then she comes with us. So we'll have 7 cars total.
Okay, now, will you be there?
I will.
So if we drag you up on stage, you're not going to have any problem with that, are you?
No, it would be fine.
Oh, that is awesome. I have already heard now, since the word got out, because I'd never heard of Never Alone until yesterday. Brad Sang is the one that gave me the information, and then I got hooked up and talked with you. Since yesterday, I have already heard there are other places that want to start doing something just like Never Alone or with you guys. I think, which is cool. I know I'm not going to say any towns now, but I know somebody that they've got a whole group of kids and stuff that do similar stuff. And this is really could take off hugely.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, in the end, it'd be a really cool thing for this to grow into other towns and other communities. There's such a need for mental health awareness and, suicide awareness and all of that if we could grow this, that would be amazing.
Now, you're going to have a 50-50 raffle during the Wissota 100. That's probably going to be worth a lot of money, isn't it?
Yes. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was last year, but it was an incredible. The 50-50 winner won more than the late model feature winner.
Wow, that's a nice chunk of ching right there, and especially during the Wissota 100. We're going to make this quick because we're going to be talking to you more tomorrow. But if somebody wants to give, ways to give, maybe ways to help you guys out or volunteer, how do they get a hold of you?
You can call me on my cell phone, which is on our website, or you can email us. You can Facebook message us. All of that works.
I am looking forward to seeing and talking to you tomorrow. I cannot wait.
Yes, I'm excited. We're excited to come. The kids are really excited to come. We do have a couple adults who get to race. Sometimes we put adults out there with them, and we have some kids versus the adult volunteers, which makes it fun for our kids, so it should be a fun time tomorrow.
Awesome. Now, you're at a baseball game. Is that correct?
I am.
How old is the kid playing baseball today?
He is 8 years old. Going to be 9 next week.
Oh, boy, you're having fun, aren't you?
Yep.
Thank you so much, Danna.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you tomorrow, all right?
Sounds great. Can't wait.
Okay, there you go. That is Danna Gronwold with Never Alone. It's a cool deal. We're back. Troy Schill is here. We're going to take a break. Sorry, before you sit down. We got a bunch of pictures to show about Troy Schill and things coming up, too. Stay tuned, folks. Dirty Thursday brought to you by River City Speedway. We'll be right back. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more, too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids. Check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter, too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. You know, they can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street or call them 701-780-8462. And make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. All right, back. Dirty Thursday brought to you by River City Speedway. Again, Danna Gronwold with Never Alone. They'll be bringing some Hornets to the River City Speedway tomorrow night. And again, now, this isn't just any Hornet around can go, all right? It's just going to be a small group. They want to show us what Never Alone does, and they're going to put on, we're going to call it an exhibition, all right? There's not going to be a payout, so don't drag your car here. But we want to do at River City Speedway is we want to help out Never Alone. So we want to show you what they do and then help them out. And maybe you never know. They could be bringing some of this stuff around here, something similar to that. But unless you want to go to Fergus once a week, you could probably jump in with these guys. Brina Sang, so excited for tomorrow. Nick Curtis, good morning, all. Corey Litton, the Never Alone crew is awesome. I love seeing not only the involvement, but how much it has expanded in just a couple of years. Danna and crew are doing a great job. And that's good because I didn't know anything about it until I heard yesterday. Troy, last year, you were in the studio. I believe, yeah, you were here. Yep. You got inducted into the River City Speedway Hall of Fame. Did it surprise you?
Yeah, you know, it really did. I wasn't really expecting to get in there. Wasn't thinking I was quite old enough to get in.
Yeah, but you've been doing this forever.
Yeah, I've been doing it a long time.
I mean, pretty soon you might be like Tommy Corcoran and be in the Hall of Fame and still be racing in another 20 years.
Yeah, probably not that long for me.
What did it mean to you to get into the Hall? Because Ryan Flayton does such a good job. with this whole thing. The whole Hall of Fame committee, they do such a good job. I think it has changed a little bit. I think it's way more thorough now, and I love what he's doing. But how did that call come about? I want to know, how did he just call you out of the blue and say, hey, we want to put you in the Hall of Fame? And how did it go?
Yeah, well, I got a call from Ryan, and he said, I need to come out and talk to you or whatever. And I knew he was doing the Hall of Fame stuff, but I actually didn't think it was actually for me. I thought it was
asking about somebody else, maybe.
I thought maybe it was my brother or something that had passed away. And I thought maybe they were doing something for him. And it caught me by complete surprise, when he did come out and said, well, we want to put you in there. And I'm like, well,
okay.
Yeah, I was like, it didn't even dawn on me.
And I wanted to mention this before we got the phone call. When you talk about retiring and stuff and how it works and stepping away, I know I've talked to race car drivers and they say, when I'm done, I'm done. I'm not coming back. And that's what I say. Well, don't you miss the people? And there's more to it. Like you say, you like to go and sometimes watch and hang around, talk to people and visit and, meander and mingle. But then they say that's the problem because it's the people. Yeah. The people are they're so good. You've been with them forever, been hanging around with these people. They all know who you are. Is that how you feel at the end of the night when people come into the pits and stuff? And, you got to be a people person to be a race car driver.
Yeah, I like going out there just, they're all, friends of mine that, I grew up all these years racing. And I like hanging around. I really don't go out much. So that's kind of like the only people I really see, I guess,
I wanted to get back to what you said. You were a hockey player. Tell me about your hockey career.
Well, I played hockey all grade school, and then when it got into high school or whatever, that's when I started racing cars.
Okay.
And my focus really changed from the hockey to the race cars, and I quit the hockey deal, and then pretty much we raced the whole time from there on.
So will you say, besides racing, is hockey your favorite sport to watch?
I like hockey. And one thing, I've never been out to a UND hockey game for quite a few years. Like when they first were out there or whatever, I went to a game, and then I had a cousin of mine take me out there with some go watch. He had some tickets, and I went out, and I think I might start going to a couple more games.
Oh, they're fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get a better place to watch a hockey game.
Yeah.
That is for sure. When you first got, who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
I have no idea. I haven't really got into that.
Okay.
There's been some crazy overtime games in that.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Try that.
I was gonna say, there's been some crazy overtime games in this series.
Awesome. If you're into sports, I mean, NHL, these are men. These are the manliest men you're going to find. Every single series is, except for a couple, have been going to 7 games. These guys, I've said this story a million times. I had a friend that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals one time, or Game 7 to get into the finals, and they lost. And I hadn't seen him in a year, and he looked like he'd aged 10 years in a year. Those guys are so beat up, but man, do they ever work their butts off. Carolina, there you go, Heather. That's what I'm going to say, too. It's going to be Carolina. What do you think? Should we show some pictures and talk about some pictures, Dale?
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask a quick question to Troy here. I kind of asked this to Corcoran and Jop when they're on, so I was kind of wanting to know your perspective for just with all your experience at River City Speedway. Just what you think has been like the biggest change to the track for you that's made a difference in racing just over the years? So just like a key difference or two that changed over the years to you, or one you wish they could go back to?
I guess it's been good, all the way through. I like the idea that they cleaned up, they really cleaned the place up and got a lot more billboard signs and, a little bit more that Jumbotron going, and then what you guys do, the announcing and stuff and the infield. And a lot of that really helps the sport.
Oh, sure it does. Now, Dale asked you about the changes at the track, and I've got this in my notes. You've been doing this. You said you first started with a big block, no power steering. How many years ago? How much have the cars changed since you first started, both in just the way they are, and you might as well add safety in there too? How much different is it from 30 years ago?
Yeah, back when I started, those cars, you need to be a pretty big guy to drive those things. They were hard to turn and they didn't handle very good. The cars today, a good one pretty much kind of drives itself. That's my opinion on
Really?
it. That's my opinion. Like when you get a good car, I think you can get around there pretty good. I mean, a good driver's, definitely helps, get
Sure.
through traffic and stuff. But man, when that car is working, it's fun to drive.
Oh, I bet. Have you ever thought about, in all these years, I mean, you've only been a late model racer. In all these years, have you ever thought about maybe jumping into a different kind of car, or have you ever hot lapped any other kinds of cars? And did it ever cross your mind, or you just been late model guy? That's the way it is.
Yeah, I started with late models, and I did run a super stock half a dozen times, or
Okay.
whatever, and we ran that, and we had some luck with it. I think we ran it 6 shows and won 1 feature in Greenbush
wow.
with it, and then the motor blew up a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were like, that's way too much. It was way too much work to go from jumping in one car
Oh,
to
I bet.
another one.
I bet. Who's going to win? Heather McDonald says Carolina, but then she says probably Vegas. Who watches overtime to Canada and USA in church? Me. I did that. Did pray for a goal. Yes. Unfortunately, there was no celebration when that goal went in because I was not going to draw attention to myself in church. I could see a celly in church. Kaylee, we learned that was true in go-karts too, that if the car was set up and working right, it drove itself. She hardly had to move her arms at all. Here's the best answer I have said. Who's going to win the cup? Not Canada. That's who. USA, USA, USA. Corey Litton. That's going right out to you, Stephen Lewis.
The streak continues. 30-plus years.
There you go. Yeah, that is true. Let's take a look at some picks here, Troy. And if you can look, I know you got to kind of turn around there, but you can kind of walk us through and let's see what we got going on here. Oh, there we go.
And I will say, Steven did a great, the career deep dive up when you were on last year. So we looked for some photos just from the past year or so here. So, alrighty.
That's a recent one, I believe.
Yeah, we just took that one. I didn't even know that I won that deal until just last Friday when I was out there.
Yeah.
He had me take that picture.
Hard
Yeah.
Charger. Where'd you start and where'd you finish? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I think I ended up 14th.
Okay.
Obviously, but I didn't really go very far in that one. I didn't finish that race. I don't think.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a tough one. $100 though is $100.
Yeah, no, it was nice. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Now these are, what did you call this kind of car again? Because I remember the wedge car, or what they call them.
Yeah, this is one of those collector cars that I got. This is this mid-engine.
Oh, so
Charlie
that
Schwartz.
one is at your place.
Yep, that one's at my place. Yep.
Okay, so mid-engine, is it right behind the driver's seat then?
Yeah, it's right behind the driver's seat. Back in the days, it was Charlie Schwartz had designed a car, and their rule is they could have these big clear sideboards on there, and they were only allowed to bring them up to the back of the roll cage.
Yep.
So what he did is he put the motor behind the driver and moved himself forward, and then it made the sideboards bigger. And
Isn't that something?
and he pretty much lapped the field, and he only got to run them. It was in a stock car magazine and stuff. They did a lot of advertising on it and stuff, and they ended up banning the car because it was too fast.
Yeah, Corey says the most banned car in racing. How the hell did you ever find something like that?
I woke up one morning and pulled up my marketplace deal, and I happened to be a guy that I was friends with he had looked at selling it before, and I thought he had sold it, and he had reposted it, and here he never did sell it. He still had it, and I tried to message him, but he was an older guy. He's not really into the Facebook a lot of stuff, and I happened to look through my phone, and I just hit Schwartz car or whatever, and it come up his name Bob or whatever, and I gave him a call, and I'm like, Bob, you still got that car? And later on that evening, me and my dad grabbed the truck and headed out there, and we wound up.
Where'd you have to go to get it?
It was up in Rochester, Minnesota.
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Do those have plastic rims?
No, those ones are aluminum rims with the kind of plastic type outer rings on.
Okay,
them.
okay. Heather says, Troy, next time I see you, we got to compare our family trees. I think we have a relative in common. Yeah. One of the Hattons married a Schill.
Oh, yeah. We got a few cousins out there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we're starting to get a little bit of the newer. That is a sharp looking car, dude.
Yeah, that's my rocket car there. That was a really good car too. That would be just probably 2 years ago, I suppose.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Terry Blackland says, Troy, looking great. What's your secret? Maybe there's hope for me to get back into the car one more time in my lifetime.
Yeah, no, when I was off for a while there, I regrouped on I got my eyes fixed. I got my weight back down. I kind of took a...
Yeah, dude, you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I was probably down, I don't even know what it's, 160 pounds.
Holy shit. What'd you weigh? 400 and some pounds or what?
I was 320 pounds.
Holy. That's damn near 100 pounds heavier than I am, and I'm fat.
Yeah, it took a lot to get it off.
Oh, I bet. You look great, by the way. And it's
appreciate
like Terry says, you look great. All right, let's take some more pictures here. This is another great shot.
Yeah, that car's that's a little bit newer one. That's here just recently. That's a Longhorn car that I'm driving right now. Yeah, that's an old. That's back in the days. That's probably.
I'm looking at the hair.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking that car is. Oh man, that's probably 98, somewhere in there.
Wow. Now, is that your natural hair?
You know, my hair is normally, and that's not dyed or nothing.
It's
like that.
not. Okay.
When I was doing that, we were outside, and I think I was working at the base at the time or something like that, and we were outside all the time.
Sun, yeah.
The sun, and it basically made my hair.
That's what mine used to get like too. It looked like people would accuse me of highlighting it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do now with platinum highlights, and I think you kind of do the same thing. Yeah, they change. Corey Litton says Dick Johannick, the man who built Fergus. Who built Fergus used to have the other mid-engine car. It's the only car I have seen get black flagged in a vintage race. Wow. All right, let's see what else we got here. Genie's, wow.
Yeah, I was just going to say the sponsors, Genie's. That's a blast from the past. Oh, a lot of good memories there.
Yeah.
Well, Genie's sponsored a few other cars back in the day, too.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We're trying to figure this out. And of course, then we figured out why, because we were wondering why you were there. Because we knew this was from a John Sites night, but why don't you explain to that, because this was an awesome night.
Yeah, what it was is Cole had won the John Sites race there, and I grabbed Dad because I wanted to get Dad up there, to get him in the picture, because Dad does all of Cole's motor stuff, and we jumped in the golf cart, went up there and to congratulate him, and at the last second, Juanita said, well, you better jump in the picture. I wasn't going up there to get in the picture or whatever, but they're like, come on, get in here or whatever. So I stood up there.
It's a great picture.
Yeah.
Terry says, I'm still waiting for the secret, LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, so am I, Terry. But the thing is he could tell me the secret. It's just, you got to do it. And I don't have the gumption anymore.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there you can do to, lose weight. And there's, pills and surgeries and all kinds of stuff. But if you don't give up on the bad foods and stay active, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, and see, my problem starts with the letter B. Bush lattes. And plus, I need new knees, so it's hard to do. Scotty Iverson says it was fun too, watching you guys race. Yes. Now, this is the kind of stuff you build.
Yeah, that's a truck that I built for Trent Greger. That's actually an all-in-one unit. It's got a garage in the back where he hauls his race car, and then it's got living quarters on the front half, and then there's a slide out there where those windows are towards the front there.
That's nice. Now, if somebody, and I don't know if you want to divulge this information or not, but if something like that, if I came up to you and said, hey, Troy, I want you to build something just like that, how does it do? I bring you the truck or do you find it? And when it's all said and done, how much would something like that run a guy?
I usually let the customer bring me the truck.
Okay.
Yep. And I have guys that'll bring me a good used truck, or that I have had, Jeremy Keller and a few other customers, whatever, went out and bought brand new trucks and we built on them.
Okay.
So they can range anywheres from. It kind of all depends. There's a lot going on. They could be from 300,000 to $500,000.
Wow. Would you rather work on a brand new truck?
The new trucks are nice because they never have any issues. And I like that we build on a new one because then the customer's gonna it's going to be worth more in the end when we
Sure.
when we do it on a new truck.
Right.
And I prefer to do it on new ones, but some people can't afford it.
Well, it's
So
easier with the welding, and there's less cleanup, and it's ready to go. Heather says Nolan had gastric. Best thing he ever did. He was racing the nurses in the hallway right after surgery. He was supposed to be in the hospital for 3 days. Was discharged the next morning. I did not know that. All right, here we go. This is there we go. This is another. This is fairly new, isn't it?
Yeah, this is this year in River Cities. Probably just a few weeks ago, or maybe
What's
even
that?
last
Turn
time.
3, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Turn two, coming out of 2, maybe.
Okay, there you go. Yep, that's it. Coming out of turn 2. All right, cars in the background. That was, I think, banquet last year.
Yeah, that's the NLRA banquet from last year. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, look who's in the background there, hiding my face.
Yeah, hiding there.
That's all.
That's all, man. That's good stuff. So in the NLRA, and I might be wrong, these are my race pass numbers. 7 wins in your career. You were the NLRA champ in 1998 and 1999. Were you running for championships then, or just the way it went?
It's just kind of like the way it went. We just raced a lot. We went everywhere. There wasn't very many places we didn't go, I guess, back then.
Is it harder now to get out and do that? And as we get older, priorities change, things like that? Or I know you just basically sticking this year with the NLRA stuff, but any other these other races tickle your fancy anymore? Or would you just rather stay home and watch it on TV?
I like going out to races. I don't mind watching. I'll, like, when the Outlaws come to town, we'll go to Ada and we'll go to some of the tracks around this area and watch the World of Outlaws shows. And once in a while, back in the days, Buddy would go out to Florida and go watch some during speed weeks and go watch some outlaw races and Lucas stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Kaylee says, can always tell what's built by a Schill. They have a unique look, always sharp looking. Nick Curtis, turn 2 is correct. This year, 4 features, 1 top 10, 12th in points. About where you thought you'd be, or you want to work on that a little bit?
Yeah, I wish I would have been a little bit better. I started off, had a DNF right off the gate.
Yep.
And it's kind of like it was kind of hard to pull out of that once you.
Yeah, and when you and I talked, I think it was Friday at the track, you basically just said to me, I need to start finishing races.
Yeah, I had a really tough night in Ada. I ended up in a mix-up in the heat race, and then I ended up in somebody else's mix-up again in the feature. So we really had to work hard to get the car back together for the Devil's Lake show, and that's what I was kind of talking about. It's like the only thing next thing, bad luck, I just got to try to finish the darn shows.
So do you plan on running here tomorrow and Devil's Lake Saturday for the Golden Hammer?
We're just going to run the Golden Hammer.
Okay.
That's an NLRA show. We're just trying to just do the NLRA.
Sure.
And kind of jump around.
Yep. Now, how hard is it? Because I don't know how much help you have in the shop, but say if you were to run tomorrow night and did a bunch of damage and wanted to get it ready for Devil's Lake, how hard would that be on you?
Yeah, it's pretty much just me and my dad. So if we go race Friday night and we get tore up, and then we want to concentrate on the NLA deal, we'd have to work all night to basically get it back together.
Yeah, and we're getting too old for that stuff.
Yeah, my dad's 80-some years old.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and
wow, and just still loves going to the shop.
Yeah, he actually a few years back he moved out. He actually lives with me out at the house now.
Oh, he does.
Yep.
Wow, you got it's like, Dad, what are you doing in the house?
Yeah.
Isn't there stuff to do in the shop?
Yeah. Well, we got a shop that's kind of like a house. It's kind of like a house.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually where he lives out there or whatever.
Okay. Somebody wants to know if you're related to Tony Schill.
I'm not exactly sure. I think, is that a teacher or something? Or maybe?
I don't know. Jeremy Blum is wondering, Troy, are you related to Tony Schill or not?
I'm not even sure. I got a lot of cousins out there.
Sure. How many Schills race?
It's just, I think right now it's just down to me and Cole that are racing. And,
Okay.
and I think Lance hasn't been racing at all lately.
Yeah. Okay. Are you related to Lance too then?
Yeah, it's a cousin of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, they're all over out there. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I was, I think we were talking a little bit before we went on air. We might have just kind of gave a brief mention earlier, but I was just kind of curious, so the viewers can hear you talk about it. Just reflections on the big Hall of Fame induction night, just kind of like the onstage, how it all went down, and just like the night in general.
Yeah, Ryan Flatlin puts on a heck of a deal on that. He puts a lot of work and a lot of detail in like, what's your history of what you were. A long ways. I didn't realize. I mean, I know it was like getting bigger. A few years back, but when I actually went to it with my dad being inducted in there, and then now myself, they got a really good deal going on there.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
I mean, it means something. He's a modified racer, Tony Schill.
Oh, no, I don't think I'm related to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And then just one last thing you just kind of brought up. I was going to ask if having to do a lot of late nights after damage. Have you ever had like a lot of nights where you raced back-to-back nights, but there was a lot of all-nighters and where it was like, well, we only got 1 hour of sleep, but it was worth it. We got the work done and to make it to the next show.
Yeah, we've had many nights where we go and when we used to run 50, 60 shows a year. I mean, there was nights we'd come home and car would go right in the shop and fix it, literally load it up and take
Sleep on the way there. Somebody else drive if you're lucky.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we did some rough deals.
When you look back on it now, though, would you have changed anything?
I mean, I was happy with the way everything went. I mean, you kind of, after you're done racing and you spent that much time doing it, sometimes you do wish a little bit that you maybe would have done a few other things,
Yep.
Yeah.
When you're done, and I have no idea when you're going to get done. I hope I see you for a long time at the Bull Ring. How do you want people to remember you as a race car driver? And, I mean, I think people already know how they're going to remember you as a person, as a human being, because you're a good guy. But how do you want to be remembered as a race car driver?
I don't even know how to answer that one. I meant, I hope they think that I'm a fair guy. I guess,
Have you ever had any beefs with anybody?
We've had.
I mean, you're going to get your little run-ins here and there, but are you one of those guys? Because my wife says I can hold a grudge forever, and I can. Believe me, I can. Are you one of those guys, or are you one of those guys that if something happens, you talk about it right away? Don't blow up. Don't talk, because let's face it, we all hear that, the term, it's a racing thing, and it does happen. But there are times when a guy needs to grab his ears and pull really hard and get his head out of his butt, and sometimes you might have to go tell him that. But have you ever been in that situation?
Back when I was younger, I mean, I was probably maybe a little bit more, hot-headed or whatever.
A little more piss and vinegar involved.
A little bit more, and then as I started racing a lot longer, I was, I kind of got that mentality where I don't want to go over and start yelling at somebody about something or whatever, and I'm sure I've screwed up many times myself and probably stuck it where it probably wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I kind of gave up on being a little bit more,
Sure. Has there ever been anybody that you refused to park the hauler by?
I've never really been that way.
So then you've got that going for you right there.
Yeah.
How fun is it for you after the races are done when the fans come?
I like it when they stop out. Back in the days when we won a lot more people would come out. We got a lot less people stopping out. That we don't win as much anymore, But we still got those diehard guys that no matter where I finish, they always come by.
Have you made? And I'm sure you're going to answer this yes, but have you made a lot of lifelong friends because of just racing?
I think that's pretty much the majority of my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a few from high school that I, still talk to and stuff like that. But yeah, majority of them are all racing because that's all I ever did.
Yeah. That's funny for me. It's like fishing and racing are the majority of my friends that I have met through either one of those or the old school people from back home. But this is, I'm having so much fun picking your brain. I can't believe I didn't get you on before the Hall of Fame last year. And I'm sitting here looking at the list and I'm like, because I had a list of names that I've got down here, the guys I need to have on the show, and you kept coming up, and it's like, well, he was here last year, but you weren't here solo. I'm going to give him a shot. And when I had approached you at the racetrack, you were just like, sure, Okay. I'm like, wow. I wish they were all that easy. Yeah. I don't know.
I was going to say one last one, just for kind of following up on just a couple of questions earlier from John for just Knights in the Pits, people coming and going. But just kind of curious on your thoughts on like the annual sites, 3 days there. Is just kind of going through that in the pits and on the track. Does that get to be a lot? But but imagine it must be worth it just to go through that big 3-day showcase for you guys.
Yeah, no, that sites deal is a pretty big deal. There's a lot of cars, and the biggest thing is to try to get in that show.
Do you see the payout this year?
Yeah, I heard it's really big. Yeah,
9,200 for top 3, I think.
Yeah, my goal right now is just to make the show.
Yep. No, it's a tough one to make.
Yeah.
But I'm very confident you're going to make that show this year.
I hope I can. I feel our car's pretty decent. I just gotta get some laps, and hopefully by that time the sites rolls around, we can try to get in that deal.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it. I wish I was going to see you tomorrow night. But he's going to get lucky enough to see you on Saturday. So that is awesome. Anything do you want to wrap this up with? Who helps you out? It helps you in the shop and sponsors, people on your car.
Yeah, like basically what I got going on is that my dad is like the heart to our whole racing program. Like he is.
It's him. You're just the driver.
Yeah, and there's times when I'm working in the shop, building something, and he's working on the car, and he'll almost literally get that car ready himself.
Wow.
On the other side, my dad's pretty diehard on that, and he also pushes me to stay busy and focused. And if I sit on the couch too long, then he's like, "You gonna get anything done today?"
Well, I mean, he must know something. He's how old and still wrenching on a race car all the time?
Yeah, no, we kind of got that mentality that like he's up there in age, and he's got basically you got to stay moving or else you just tip over kind of.
Sure. So, kind of like me.
yeah. So he definitely stays busy. It doesn't matter what it is. If he's working on like somebody's regular vehicle or the race car, he's always doing something.
Now, you don't chase sponsorship too much. A lot of the people on your car are friends or people that have been on the car for a long time, but there's a reason they're on the car. So why don't you give them a shout out?
Yeah, I got a few on the car there. I got Forks Finest Auto Body. Of course, my business, TSE Conversions. I got Todd's Electric on there. Area Community Credit. I used to bank over there.
Yep.
Had a good friend that worked there. No longer works there, but our vinyl has been the same now for it's probably been 3-4 years.
Yeah,
the same exact wrap or whatever. Like nothing really changes. It's all pretty much. Yeah.
Sure. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the track again. I can't thank you enough for coming in here. I mean, these people, sure, I'll drop whatever I'm doing for you, John, so I can come on Dirty Thursday, but people are busy, and I sure appreciate that you came in.
Yeah, no, I'm self-employed, so it's a little bit easier for me to get away. And
yeah, I wish I had more guys like you.
Yeah.
Good luck with the rest of the year.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Troy Schill, Hall of Famer, Wash Firm, drives the number 11 NLRA late model driver. He's not going to be here tomorrow night, but he will be at the Golden Hammer in Devil's Lake on Saturday. That would be a nice check to win. All right. I want to give a shout out right now to Rumors Sports Bar and Casino for bringing you Dirty Thursday. Man, they've been doing this with us for a long time. Tell you what, if you don't want to watch, maybe your wife doesn't want to watch hockey tonight, head to Rumors. Watch that Stanley Cup final game between Carolina and Vegas. That'll be on at about 7 o'clock. Wall-to-wall TVs. You can watch your favorite teams on TV. They've got buses, DoD Sports, all the big-name concerts. While you're there, maybe do a little charitable gambling, all right? You can bet on the horses, play bingo, try your luck with all the charitable gaming. They've got great dinner specials and express lunches. Their food is awesome. Got the world-famous beer tower. Do I need to say anything more? Check them out. Initials game every second Tuesday night. They've got DJ Trivia night on Mondays. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Rumor Sports Bar and Casino in the Midtown District Market right here, right across the street from the studio, right across the hallway from us. Anyway, let's see. Next week, we're going to be talking Baja coming to the Grand Forks Fair next weekend. So have a great day, all right? We'll see you at the track. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us on your favorite app. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. It dings every time we go on the air. It's a pretty cool deal. We love the Forks. We're Grand Forks' best source. We're giving the Forks their identity back.